We're going to focus on episode 254. It was originally aired July the 7th of 1984. Again, a tremendous year, banner year, one of the biggest years ever for Mid-South Wrestling. We begin the program with Joel Watts and Jim Ross. And, of course, Joel, from now on, really, if you watch that, Joel might need to get his own format. That way he can't cheat on everybody else's format. Did
you notice, Jack, you watch it, did you notice he did not have anything in front of him?
No, and he was looking over trying to see, and Jim finally just took off. It's almost like Jim was trying to keep him from looking at it.
I don't know that notes would have helped him.
Probably, maybe not. But anyway, they throw to the ring, and Bill Watts is there with Magnum TA, and this is the presentation of the big, beautiful 27-pound silver and gold new North American Heavyweight Championship belt. I don't think there's ever been a more beautiful belt, and it really was. It was humongous. I mean, it was humongous. That tells you the trend, the Mid-South Wrestling, because you have to be a big guy to wear that, no doubt. And, of course, it was a beautiful belt, and, of course, he talked about all the other ones. You would think they would have had the old one, and then they would replace it with the new one. But anyway, it was a beautiful belt, and I thought Magnum TA did a tremendous interview right there because – and I especially liked the salute to Mr. Wrestling 2. I thought that was classy. Out of all the people, and of course, Wrestling 2 had already left Mid-South, but I thought it was a great tribute to Wrestling 2 by saying, even my old coach, Wrestling 2, would want a chance at this championship title, and he would, and this belt. And I thought it was classy. I thought it was real classy by Magnum TA. And then out comes our favorite. Yeah, there it is, the beautiful belt, just huge, 27 pounds. And actually, this is the belt right here that made Ric Flair jealous, and he demanded a new design and a new belt right here, this one right here.
What did you think about the title, Jack?
Oh, I loved it. When first time I saw it, I thought, man, it's beautiful, it's different, but it meant something. I just loved it. Still do. Still one of my favorite belts.
It's
I wonder if Bill Watts paid extra trance for the person that had to deliver that thing around everywhere. A good 27 pounds.
It had its own case. They had it in its own case, that big, huge belt. Anyway, out comes, right at the end of this, out comes Ernie Ladd. And Ladd was out there complaining. You talked about Ted DiBiase and Butch Reed, but you didn't mention Ernie Ladd. Why don't you dress for a match? And Ladd said, get in the ring right now. Took that belt on the line. He was fantastic. I love Ernie Ladd. He always the class act, always great. And he can stir it up. And I love the jacket on the back. He said, promises, promises. I just love that. Ernie Ladd, always a favorite. Come up to the first match. It's Hercules Hernandez against Josh Stroud. And then this Cornette announces that he's been going through his videos, and now he's got a brand new hold for Hercules Hernandez during this match. And as the match progressed, Hercules puts this hold on it all. Now, Jim Ross and Joel Watts had no idea what this hold was. Absolutely no idea what this hold was. I thought it was a time, and they've never seen it before. They've never seen any other organization that would have this match or this kind of hold. I thought it was amazing. You kind of wonder, if they'd ever seen any wrestling, even from Georgia. I don't know. But so anyway, he wins with this brand new hold, and it looked, I don't know, Jack, it kind of reminded me of the Cobra hold.
Kind of looked exactly like it.
Kind of the Cobra hold. But anyway, so we come back out of the match, and Cornette saying that I taught this man a brand new hold, and he says, it's called, yeah, there it is. And it called, look at that. Look at Boyd Pierce. Look at Boyd Pierce's that suit. I tell you right now, I love his suits.
I got a shirt like that.
Cornette comes out and says, now I'm going to tell you what the name of this hold is. It's called the Shinnomaki. The Shinnomaki. And it baffled Jim Ross and Joel Watts. You kind of wonder what they've been doing for.
Evidently, they had been watching wrestling.
No.
They didn't watch the Superstar. And I think, actually, am I wrong? But did the Superstar not wrestle in Mid-South Wrestling?
He sure did. Mm-hmm. He sure did. And
did he not use the Cobra hold there?
I would.
I'm pretty sure he called it the Shinonumaki there too, because that's what it's called in Japan, which is where he kind of come back with it.
Well, I mean, and then we had the Cobra Clutch with Sergeant Slaughter. They're trying to play with this right there. Just tell you right now, I'm unimpressed.
I'm pretty sure the Sarge hooked fingers.
Did he?
A little different.
Yeah, just a little bit. The Cobra.
A little bit different.
Well, wait, can I say something about that before we move on? Josh Stroud was wrestling in this match, and I'm very impressed with Josh Stroud. But Josh did not want to let his arm go.
No.
So Dad could do. For everybody out there that's just watching you, our father is the referee in this match. So he tries to, and he won't let go. I don't know if Herc was hurting him or he just didn't want to do the deal.
You know what? I bet you he was hurting him. I just, because he was keeping that arm. He said, you could see Dad said, let go of your arm. Let go.
He could, so finally he just asked for the bell. Did you see that, Jack?
I did.
Josh Stroud played. Didn't he play football for Birmingham?
I believe he did.
Wow. Well, they did talk about him having in another show. They did talk about him winning bodybuilding contest in Kansas City. So now we come up. We have a special, the PYT, and this is a video that they had done in Memphis, and so they re-showed that. Then we had a match of the Midnight Express versus the PYT, and when Cornette grabs a hold of the microphone from Boyd Pierce gives him a look every time like, I'm just going to punch you. I wish you would just one time. I wish they'd have done it one time. That place would have exploded. But anyway, so we got the Midnight Express versus the PYT. Now, not only does Magnum TA have a new North American Heavyweight Championship belt, but we have brand new Mid-South Tag Team Championship belts too that look a lot kind of like in the design of the World Heavyweight Championship, except it just got Mid-South on it. I never agreed with that, using the same type of plates for if you have a world champion, it should have be an exclusive belt. It should not be any kind of knockoffs, if you will. But anyway, so we have the Midnight Express in the ring. Cornette does his introduction, and then here comes the PYT, and already the people are chanting PYT, PYT. It's just absolutely tremendous. And at the first part of the match, of course, Coco Ware and Norvell Austin control the match. I mean, they are in total control of the match until the sneak tag with Dennis Condrey, and where he knees Norvell Austin in the back. Tag team. They tag Coco Ware, and then Coco goes for the rolling reversal on Bobby Eaton. As he does, goes into the ropes with Bobby Eaton. Bobby sticks his head between the top rope in the middle. Cornette comes up, hits him with the tennis racket. It's 1, 2, 3. It's Midnight Express over the PYT. Tremendous match, you have to admit. I mean, just
really was good.
The Coco Ware Norvell just fast, and I mean everybody knew everybody, and that's what makes it click in a great match like this. Then we have another video with Terry Taylor. This with Rod Stewart. Do you think I'm sexy? And then anyway, that was with Terry Taylor and his special on him. And then we have a match between he and Pat Rose, and of course Terry Taylor wins that one with the flying forearm. Again, Pat Rose, never a bad match with Pat. I think in lots of cases this is one of those situations where you missed the boat, totally missed the boat on a guy, and he would have been a tremendous asset, and he did prove so later on in the year as he moved to Southeastern Championship Wrestling.
I want to stop right there for just a second, because I know Jack can add to Pat Rose as well. There was no reason why they couldn't watch the matches and see that Pat Rose could wrestle a whole lot better than Steve Williams. And I'm not taking anything away from Steve Williams. Could you have imagined the matches instead of Steve Williams and Terry Taylor? Could you imagine the matches Pat Rose and Terry Taylor could have? Am I way off base here, Jack?
Absolutely correct, man. I mean, Pat could walk and talk, and he could do everything that a top guy needed to do. And, why he wasn't put in a top spot is probably one of the greatest travesties of wrestling to me. Pat, I don't know that Pat will ever get the true recognition that he really deserves. But, man, he was one of the best I was ever in the ring with, and he was one of the best I ever watched in the ring. And
Tremendous.
That's it. Yeah.
Absolutely tremendous. You're exactly right. Then we come with a big match. It's Butch Reed and Buddy Landel against the Junkyard Dog and Jim Duggan.
Woo!
Yeah, here we go. This is a big one, and this leads to other things that's coming up down the road. In this particular video, this match was edited to edit out the part in that was important to it. And of course, the match starts with Reed Landel, and then Landel is trying to get it. For whatever reason, it seemed like, I don't know if you all caught it, it seemed like either Reed was hurt or something was going on there. Did you catch that? Did you pick up on that?
Something's going on. Boyd Pierce got out of the ring quicker than Hacksaw moved the whole match.
I don't know if he banged his knees. I don't know what happened, but and every time Landel would try to get him to come in the ring, he was like, go ahead. I don't know what was going on. What do you think, Brent?
I watched that match, and I think Buddy Landel, am I wrong about this, but was Buddy Landel the only person in that ring that actually was performing? Was the rest of them sleeping? Now that wasn't when. That is not the night or the day that everybody had to go get shots for the the hepatitis shots.
Hepatitis A, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure. I know it almost came down to even families had to go take it, but they decided that wasn't a good idea. And it might have been, but I don't know. Was Duggan sick? I think it came later because when Duggan was sick like that, he threw up all over the back of Ned's head.
This is true. I've got to talk a little bit about Butch Reed. It seemed to me in the match. Now I don't know. Maybe you guys can we talk about new modern wrestling, but we have to say this match really was horrible. This match had to go down as one of the worst matches I have seen from four people who are great wrestlers. This is what it seemed to me like, though, in this match. It seemed like Butch Reed was getting upset of the things that Duggan and Junkyard Dog were doing, because everything they were doing was looking horrible. Duggan's punches was looking horrible. Duggan, I don't know where that little thing that he does, man, that thing looked horrible. That thing looked horrible. Him hitting the ropes just looked horrible. He had wrestled since 1978, and he looked like a guy that had not wrestled within a week. And Junkyard Dog wasn't any better. And I'm not trying to. They drew a lot of money. They got over there more than any. Junkyard Dog got over better there than any wrestler ever got over there. I think him and Wrestling 2 had to be in that field. But that match should have never aired on television. Do y'all agree?
I agree.
What about you, Jack? What did you see with it? You've been in the wrestling ring. You've wrestled. What did you see in that match?
I've been in a lot of tag matches where one or two of the guys are just having an off night. But like I say, Buddy was the only one that wasn't off. And he was working his behind off to try to make it look as good as he could.
He was.
I don't know if they were tired. I don't know what the road schedule was, at that time. I don't know what was going on. But it was just like the other three were just kind of phoning it in.
All right,
Buddy was out there trying to work.
This was what was supposed to happen. Duggan hits the ropes, and for whatever reason, this stopping people in the ropes with a knee. Because Duggan was going to come out, and Buddy was supposed to be on the other side of that, and Buddy was supposed to give the knee and stop Duggan. During that when Duggan was supposed to sell a little bit. The problem was Buddy was on the other side of the ring. He couldn't do it because he wasn't on that side. So he misses it. Duggan jumps over top of him, stops, looks at Butch like, okay, what am I supposed to do now? He didn't get me. He didn't beat me up. So then he walks over to to Butch and basically leans down and says, "Lay back down," and goes and does the knee. Did y'all notice that?
Yeah.
This is Hacksaw Jim Duggan. You've wrestled since 1978. Couldn't you figure out how to do better than that? And then what makes it even worse is Bill Watts should have let that hit television. That was just
He could have done some creative editing.
So for those people who say we only knock modern wrestling, now you can see that was bad, and it doesn't matter what era it is.
No, when it's bad, it's bad. And guess what? When we saw it, we called it.
Bad thing.
Everybody know. You want to know? Come and ask us. We'll let you know. No problem with that. We tell you exactly if it was sorry. We told them more than once it was sorry. Anyway, now we've got Cornette and Hercules Hernandez. They make their appearance at the ring, at ringside in the match, coming to the end. Duggan hits the ropes, and when he does, Cornette pulls the top rope down, and then it's Hercules, and Cornette's just kicking Duggan, and Hercules Hernandez, they're beating up on Duggan, and then here comes Sonny King with one of the most beautiful flying headbutts I've seen. I mean, that thing, he hit. And then Sonny went down, and he sold for a long time. I thought it was brilliant. I thought Sonny was he's saving the day. He surely was. And then Duggan goes after Cornette. Cornette is running. He's a track star going all the way around, goes all the way back to the dressing room. And here comes Dennis and Bobby. They're waiting on Jim Duggan in the back. Everybody's eyes are on Duggan and the Midnight in the back of the building. And I mean, and Duggan has got them both going and rams their heads together, then grabs a 2x4 and heads back to the ring. What's going on? It's Reed and Landel beating down the Junkyard Dog. Duggan comes in the ring. Anyway, all heck breaks loose. Duggan loses the 2x4. And then Hercules Hernandez comes back in. He's about to hit Duggan with the 2x4, and in comes Sonny King to protect Duggan, and then it's the 2x4 on the shoulder of Sonny King. Sonny King done a great job in that. I have to admit. I mean, he was just fantastic.
Missed opportunity after that, though. Missed opportunity. Sonny King turning on Hacksaw Jim Duggan because he was the one that brought the 2-5-4 in the ring. Exactly. That would have been a great thing they could have done. But
all of what you're seeing, we saw the tennis racket with the show in the match before. We saw the 2x4 in this one. We've seen chairs in the last few weeks, and that will lead us to what's going to happen on the next program, and we'll go over it. And I've always loved this part of Mid-South Wrestling. Then we have a big video. They come back, and of course we're going to have other matches. But Bill Watts comes back, and they have an interview, and Watts is in the ring with Duggan and with Junkyard Dog and Sonny King, and they're going to get him out of the ring. And of course, Sonny's just doing a tremendous job with the situation as they're trying to roll him out. And Duggan does an interview, which I thought was incredible. But anyway, I didn't go for that. But
Jim Duggan became I don't know if Jack, did you notice he became a doctor in that thing? He says these words, I think it's a dislocated shoulder. I don't know. Duggan knew that it was a dislocated shoulder. Dr. Jim Duggan.
His medical expertise was better than his punches that night.
No doubt. You're exactly right about that. Exactly right for that. Then we have another video of the Fantastics. I think they've played that one a few times. And then we end the show with an interview with Terry Taylor, in which he talks about having to defend the Mid-South TV title against Crusher Khrushchev, and about Dr. Death, who still has the Mid-South television medal.